In a small town where dreams seemed too big to fit, there lived a man who dared to look beyond the horizon. Every night he'd gaze at the stars, feeling the weight of his loneliness, wondering what secrets the universe held. He wasn't just dreaming of touching the sky. He was determined to build his way there. With nothing but scraps of metal and an unwavering spirit, he began constructing his own rocket in his backyard. The challenges were endless. Parts didn't fit, engines failed, and his hands grew calloused from countless hours of work. Sometimes he'd spend entire nights troubleshooting a single component, fueled by nothing but cold coffee and determination. The townspeople would walk by, pointing and laughing. "There goes the crazy rocket man," they'd whisper. Some called him delusional, others said he was wasting his life. But their mockery only fueled his resolve. Days turned into months and months into years. Through rain, snow, and scorching heat, he kept building. And then, one morning, there it stood, gleaming in the sunrise, his homemade rocket ready to pierce the clouds. The same people who laughed now gathered in awe. As the engines roared to life, their jeers turned to cheers. He had done the impossible, not just building a rocket, but showing that dreams, no matter how big, are worth chasing. Sometimes, it takes just one person to remind us that the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Growing up, I was that kid everyone avoided in school. You know the one. Sitting alone at lunch, walking the hallways with eyes glued to the floor. Not because I wanted to be alone, but because I didn't have a choice. The other students made it crystal clear that I wasn't welcome in their circles. My mother worked as a cleaning lady, doing her best to keep food on our table. My clothes were always hand-me-downs, and I couldn't afford the trendy things other kids had. The whispers and giggles followed me everywhere. "Look at her old shoes. Did you see what she's wearing today?" Those words cut deep, but they became my fuel. Since friendship wasn't an option, I threw myself into my studies. While others were hanging out at the mall or going to parties, I was in the library, burning the midnight oil. My books became my closest companions, and my grades became my pride. They couldn't make fun of my test scores, even if they mocked everything else about me. Then came the day that changed everything. I got accepted into one of the country's top universities. It was my ticket out of that small town where I was nothing but the poor, ugly girl. I left without looking back, carrying only my dreams and determination. Years passed, and I built something for myself. One successful business venture led to another. I invested wisely, worked relentlessly, and slowly but surely my bank account grew. But the real irony? Success has a funny way of changing how people see you. Last month, I returned to my hometown for the first time in 15 years. I barely recognized the place, but what was more interesting, no one recognized me. I started buying property